And we have another caller on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, speaking to Jennifer.
Sepo.
Jennifer?
Sepo, how are you this evening?
No, it's Jennifer.
Good, good. You wanted question 3.4?
Yes.
Okay, have a look. Is this the question? Fur color in mice is controlled by a gene with 2 alleles. Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay, so let's have a look. We have fur color, so they tell us fur color in mice is controlled by a gene with 2 alleles. All right, now look what I'm doing. I'm underlining the important words. A homozygous mouse with black fur was crossed with a homozygous mouse with brown fur. All offspring had black fur. All right, now it says, using the symbols B and B, little b and a big B and little b, to represent the 2 alleles for fur color, show diagrammatically a genetic cross between a mouse who is heterozygous for fur color and a mouse with brown fur color. Show the possible genotypes and phenotypes of the offspring. Before I do this question, I want you to look at this. Okay.
Okay.
Now pay attention. There are only 4 types of crosses that you will get in your matric year. Only 4 types, okay? And this is what you get. Number 1 is if I'm going to use black and white. So I'm going, sorry, Jennifer. So we go black, all right? So B equals black, and a small b equals white. All right, you with me?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to say homozygous, in other words, pure black, crossed with pure white. So I'm going to end up with capital B, small b, capital B, small b, capital B, small b, and capital B, small b. In other words, I'm going to have 100% are going to be heterozygous, capital B, small b. You with me?
Yes.
Okay, so that's cross number 1. I'm going to use homo plus homo will give me heterozygous. Okay? Let me just write it quickly here. Homo plus homo equals hetero. All of the little ones are going to be heterozygous. Okay. Or I can say I'm going to have homozygous times heterozygous. Okay, so pure homozygous dominant times heterozygous is going to give me 50% will be homozygous black and 50% are going to be heterozygous. Okay, you see that? Okay, now the third one, I'm going to say I'm going to have heterozygous times heterozygous. So this was homo times hetero. This is going to be hetero times hetero. Okay? So look at this here. Capital B, small b, capital B, small b, and small b, small b. So what have I got here? I've got a 1 to 2 to 1. 1 to 2 to 1 ratio. You see that?
Yes.
You happy?
Yes.
Okay. And then my 4th crossing that you're going to get, or that type of crossing that you will get. Okay. Now we've had homo and homo. We've had hetero and homo. We've had hetero and hetero. Now we're going to have heterozygous times homozygous recessive. And this will give me heterozygous, 2 of them, and, oh, sorry, I made a small little error here. Let's just clean this here quickly. This is going to be small b, capital B, and there I go. This will be 50-50 again. You see that?
Yes.
But here we'll have homozygous recessive and heterozygous. So this would be, again, a hetero times a homo. You with me?
Yes, I am.
Do you understand what I've done here?
Yes.
Okay, now let's look at our question here. And this question says, if I take homozygous black and homozygous brown, all the offspring have got black fur. So what does that tell me? It tells me immediately that black is dominant. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you understand that, Mahan?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so now using the symbols B and B, so the B will be black and the little b is going to be brown. You with me?
Yes.
Okay, so we say show dramatically a genetic cross between a mouse that is heterozygous for fur color with a mouse with brown fur. So we're going to have heterozygous times brown fur is recessive. It's going to be small b, small b. Do you understand where I got that from?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
Okay, so let's go down, and so that's our cross. Oh, I don't have another page, so let's just do this. And all right, have a look. In fact, let's do this whole thing right from the start, and let's just not cut any corners here. And we say, all right, we start our question by saying capital B equals black, small b equals brown. All right? What are we going to be crossing? We're going to be crossing a parent that is heterozygous with a parent that is homozygous brown. Okay?
Yes.
Now we draw the Punnett square, and we say we have our gametes, and the gametes are going to segregate during meiosis. Remember, we have independent assortment, okay, and random selection, our heterozygous parent with our homozygous recessive parent. Okay?
Yes.
Our offspring look like this. And small b, and capital B, small b, and small b, small b. Why?
Yes.
Yes, my doll?
If I get questions like this, should I always draw a Punnett square even if I wasn't instructed to do that?
To do what?
To draw a Punnett square?
Don't you know how to do a Punnett square?
No, I know how to draw a Punnett square. Should I draw it even if they didn't tell me to draw it?
Okay, you can, if they ask you to do a cross, you can draw a Punnett square. If they tell you you must draw a Punnett square, then you must draw a Punnett square.
Okay.
So if they don't tell you you must draw a Punnett square, you can use a Punnett square. But if they tell you to draw a Punnett square, then you must use a Punnett square. So it's always easier because look at this. If you have the this way, and you say you have B and B and B and like this, and you go all right?
Mm-hmm.
Now look here. If I start to get confused, especially when you're in an exam and you're under lots of pressure, what happens if your eyes get confused here and you start messing up? You see?
Yes.
Look at this. So, okay, you write your gametes here, and you say meiosis occurs, and then fertilization occurs, and these are your offspring or possibilities of offspring. But with all these lines going crossing, you could get confused. So when you use a Punnett square, it's so much easier because everything's in neat little blocks. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so now we go, this is fertilization takes place here. Okay, there's my fertilization. Now, I'm going to have to write the genotype and the phenotype. So let's just go back to our question and just check what exactly they wanted. They wanted show the possible genotypes and phenotypes of the offspring. So we write. So I just want to clean this off here. Okay, so we say, now remember, this is our P1. This is our first set of parents that we are calculating at the moment. So this would be P1. So now we move to F1. And we say F1, that's our first family or filial generation. I'm going to have the genotype. And remember, genotype is what is in the genes. So what are we going to see in the genes? We're going to see here 2 out of 4, that's my ratio, okay, or 50% of the offspring are going to be capital B, small b, which is heterozygous. Okay, and I'm going to have 2 to 4, that's the ratio, or 50% are going to be small b, which is homozygous. Brown. You happy?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And then we say the phenotype. Now this is what we are going to see. Okay? This is what we are going to see. We are going to see 50% of these offspring, or the possible offspring, will be black because they heterozygous, and we're going to see 50% of the offspring are going to be brown. All right. And there we go. It's as easy as that. Are you happy?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Just remember, right in F1, let's have a look at all the possible marks that you could have got for this question. Now, if we go back to this question, they say 6 marks. But they can also make this question out of a lot more, because they can say, right, this is where we are. These are the possible marks that they could give. They would say, first of all, for indicating black and white, a mark. Indicating the parents, another mark. Indicating meiosis, indicating gametes, indicating P1, indicating F1, indicating fertilization. Getting this right here. So they clearly selected specific things that they were going to give you marks for, which is generally the genotype, the phenotype, saying that we have 50% and that we have those colors and that they are capital B, small b, and small b, small b. So if they were giving you full marks and they were giving you marks for every single thing you wrote out, you could end up with 16 to 18 marks for a question like this. So all you need to do is just keep your head focused and make sure that if you do a Punnett square, it's always the easiest way to write the work down, okay?